Okay, so let's talk about something we all do every single day: eat. But have you ever really stopped to think about what happens after you take that first bite? We're going to pull back the curtain on our digestive system, but we're going to look at it in a totally new way, as a kind of factory. We're calling it the biological disassembly.
Yeah, seriously. Ever wonder what actually happens to that burger after the first bite? You're enjoying it, it's delicious, and then poof, it's gone. But where does it go? What's the plan? Well, it turns out it's not just a random journey. It's this incredibly organized, fascinating process, way more interesting than you'd think.
So this whole elaborate system inside us exists to solve one single fundamental challenge. Let's call it the polymer problem. See, the food we eat, pretty much all of it, is made of these huge, super complex molecules called polymers. And here's the catch. In that giant form, they're completely, totally useless to our cells. Okay, let's use an analogy to make this super clear. Think about Legos. The food we eat, the polymers, is like a giant pre-built Lego wall, right? It's all stuck together in these big, complex chains. It's got potential, for sure, but our cells can't do anything with a whole wall. What they actually need are the individual Lego bricks. We call those monomers. Tiny, simple, and ready to be used for whatever our body needs: fuel, building materials, you name it. All right, so if our food is a giant Lego wall, how in the world does our body break it down into those tiny little bricks? Well, that's where our factory tour begins. Let's head over to the first section, the part that does all the heavy lifting. Meet the demolition crew. And trust me, demolition is the perfect word for it. The source material for this explainer nailed it when it said this first stage literally smashes food into smithereens. We are not talking about delicate, precise work here. This is all about brute force. So this demolition phase has like three main departments. Step one is receiving and crushing. That's your mouth, by the way. Your teeth get to work doing exactly what it sounds like. But at the exact same time, step two kicks off, the first chemical attack. That's your saliva, which is already starting to break stuff down. And from there, everything gets sent down the chute to step three, the acid vat. Yep, that's your stomach, where it all gets a crazy, intense chemical bath to turn it into liquid. Okay, so once the demolition crew is done, we're left with this, well, this slurry. And that gets passed on to a much more refined part of our biological factory. This is where the brute force ends and the real precision work starts. So let's move on to section two, the absorption factory. Now, this is where the real magic happens. The big chunks are gone, sure, but we're still left with these smaller chains of molecules that need to be taken apart. And to do that, the factory has this massive workforce of super specialized workers. It's time to meet the enzymes. So what are enzymes? Just think of them as microscopic biological scissors. Seriously, each one is designed to do just one specific job: snip a very particular kind of chemical bond. Their whole purpose is to make those final cuts, snipping the last links holding the chains together to finally release those individual monomers, our precious Lego bricks. All right, let's recap. We've crushed, we've churned, we've liquefied, and we've snipped our food down into its tiniest, most basic parts. So, why? Why go through all this trouble? Well, that brings us to the whole point of this entire incredible disassembly line. It's time for section three, the final payoff. So let's look at the factory's output report. This is what we get for all that hard work. Those big carbohydrate chains, they get turned into glucose, which is basically quick energy for your cells. The proteins, they become amino acids, which are the literal building blocks for, well, everything: your muscles, your organs, even your DNA. And fats, they become fatty acids, which are awesome for long-term energy storage. So once these super valuable monomers, these Lego bricks, are finally free, they get absorbed right through the walls of the small intestine and are sent out for delivery. And what's the factory's shipping network? It's your bloodstream. It's this incredible highway that makes sure these essential fuels and building blocks get to every single one of the trillions of cells in your body. It's pretty amazing. But of course, not every single piece of that Lego wall can be used, right? There's always stuff left over. That's where the large intestine comes in. You can think of it as the factory's waste management department. Its job is pretty simple: reabsorb any leftover water, compact all the indigestible stuff, and then get it ready for, final disposal. It's the last and a very necessary step to keep the whole factory running clean. So there you have it. From a complex meal all the way down to the fundamental bricks of life, that's the journey through your biological disassembly line. And the wildest part? It's happening inside you right now. Which really leaves just one question to think about the next time you sit down for a meal. So, what are you building with today?